Okay, we are indeed live. That's beautiful. So let me just start by setting things up. I'm going to share the stream into the Discord as well. And then it is going to be a little bit of a quick stream today because I am on time. The chartsmith is going to come in, I don't know, like an hour or so. So let me start by drawing this in, and so you do have something to look to while I'm going to share the stream. All right. Let me check if everything is all right. See if I am indeed live. We are for sure live. Good. Now let's share this live stream. Beautiful. Let me set up a quick post on X, and then we are perfectly ready to go because I already see literally all of the crypto trending everywhere. And I think that is because well, the market had a bit of a correction yesterday and today. And not actually a bit, a pretty big correction. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Almost done, guys. Okay, beautiful. Everything is correct. I've shared everything. We're ready to blast off. Like I said, I only have hmm, maybe a small hour or so to get the stream in and also to analyze the things I want to analyze. So that's going to be the majors. It's going to be Ethereum, Bitcoin. I do not want to go into it in too much depth. That's because I always do that and I only get to analyze like 2 to 3 pairs literally when I'm live streaming, just because I go over everything, I explain everything. And today I want that to be a bit different. I want us to go a little bit more quicker over the stream itself and just analyze the things that matter. And if you do have questions about the way I analyze and I draw in a certain way, I draw the things in, then you should definitely ask that question in the chat or just come up and join our Discord. I'm always ready there to answer anyone's question. I'm ready to argue with anyone about anything. It's just a nice place traders can be, ask their questions, and trade together. Okay, so having done that now, let's check out Ethereum because it's pretty fascinating what Ethereum had done here, which was snooping up the all-time high. And right now we're almost how much percent below all-time high again? 20%. It's a lot. So let's see. Oops. So today we will be discussing Ethereum. Why is my sound not working? There we go. Let me check if the music is alright in the background. Ooh, it's a little bit loud. Okay, this is better. Perfect. Okay, so let's go over Ethereum because Ethereum did hit all-time high, but now we're literally 20% away from our next all-time high. So what has been happening to Ethereum? Why does it not just blast through? Why is it having so much trouble? Today we're going to be looking at that with a technical analysis price action wise. And that way I want to clarify everything that has been going on Ethereum, especially this local part. Um, I don't want to get into much previous price action. It's about now, it's about the times that's going to come and the opportunities that are laying ahead. So let's start by going on the 3-day time frame. I think it's a great time frame. You know, everyone was a bit scared here with Ethereum with this massive dump. It looked like the goal was to just SFP the move that brought us all the way up to new highs, which we have done. Because if you hunt that high right here, you're most likely gonna go towards the opposite of that swing, and that swing was this move right here. We hunted the high, means we need liquidity from the lows. That's exactly what we did, and from there we continued trading. Really nice staircase, really aggressive as well. And if I start to draw on the market structure we have created here, it's gonna be as the following: a low, a higher low, and a higher high. Go to the daily. So what this means is if we never manage to break 3.4K on Ethereum, so if we cannot break that towards the downside, then it's up only, because that is our local market structure. And we're expecting a higher low for another higher high. Whatever happens in between these 2 points is whatever, but the order flow right now is to look for that higher low and that higher high. But it would have to hit our point of interest first. And why is this also a really important bit? Because this was the last pullback that brought you first up to all-time highs. Second up, towards all of this resistance here. You can clearly see they tried to push down from here, but the buyers that have stepped in here have caused the market to hit all-time high and break structure towards the upside, which means if price comes back here, are they willing to defend their orders to push price up again towards new all-time highs? Okay, that was that. That was the story. Let's get into this local part now to see what opportunities we have and what opportunities we've maybe missed. So, we actually have created a massive range on Ethereum. And you know, everyone that has watched me before, I love to trade ranges. I like to trade consolidations because that means it's one big liquidity game and you have to figure out, okay, where are the big players scaling in orders and where would they be selling their orders? You're basically on track to um, spot a transaction in the market, as I would say. And the transaction, for example, is market makers filling up orders on the highs to short towards the bottom and to then take profit at this range low. That's what they do. So, excuse me. So to continue this analysis, we have this range drawn in. When we're trending up, we want to draw a range from high all the way to low. And then we actually had our first deviation. Yes, it is actually two highs that went over it, but this is on your higher time frame. This is just one deviation. So I did want that to be in the chart because I found it really important to acknowledge. The supply can actually go bigger because it's this whole 12-hour order block. We're supposed to extend our range when it has deviated. The same here. So I can definitely argue that market makers have stepped in here to push price down. Well, normally a distribution like this can overflow into an accumulation. So the same thing we did here on the highs, we can also do on the lows. And it could have been that this distribution, it's just a purpose to trade towards the lows and fill up orders. But then we have a slight problem there because if we're building an accumulation at the lows, we want to have good targets. Where are your targets now? We have this high is protected. This as well tested a supply and we started trading down aggressively from there. So you could also argue protected, really good level. And this is just going to be a really difficult move up on Ethereum because there's only supply laying in this whole move. We have all lows here that we have to gain first. We have an ugly wick here, which most of the time is going to get taken out. We have resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, here, here. It's all left open supply, so the move up is not going to be easy. And that makes it less interesting for me to look for shorts. It makes sense that we get a reaction after a big dump like this, but I am going to be looking at continuation towards the downside so we can test this supply because this clearly is a distribution to trade lower and that's what I'm planning on doing. Where could you possibly trade lower? This pullback brought you to new highs. That's what holds support here as well. So I think if you flip that, it's gonna become resistance. So this was your demand. And when you flip it, it becomes a breaker. We have tested it right here as a demand, but if you cannot gain new highs from there and flip it, then it's going to become resistance, and that makes it your breaker right now. Your supply would be this whole pool, because this little consolidation has brought you all the way towards new lows. Make it red. So this is already a really good point of interest to look for short from. I do think if we start to flip this level right here around 4400, we could expect continuation upside. So that's your highly resistant point right now. So I was talking about flowing over into a accumulation. How do we do that? We either grab the low one more time, and the third tap below it has to mitigate something that is relevant. In this case, it would be this demand right here. So that's a scenario I want to point out. This is an option. Or we can touch extreme liquidity or extreme supply. Well, looking at this right now, we have too little price information on the local time frame to start looking at that. We have no demand here. There's nothing. It's just a grind up, and I wouldn't call this extreme liquidity yet. We need to wait for the market to do this, then move up, and then we have an extreme liquidity point and an extreme demand that we can test in. But for now, price action, you have to wait. It's unclear yet. We've just had a massive dump. Just let it form. So that would be one of the setups as well. And it is really important that we start to gain all of this old liquidity in the first place. Because the market loves to test back old liquidity. And that would also align with where the market is against right now. So this could also be a resistance point. A little bit of liquidity here. Another supply laying above. We could even start to force some kind of continuation here. So it's not going to be any more difficult than that on Ethereum. That's literally the local range discussed. High time frame, we're still up until proven otherwise, but we're gonna have to do it from here. If we do not do it from here, could be scary. It could be a macro top, especially if we lose this part. Then you're just gonna expect price to continue here, and we'll have to see what price does from there. But this is your first part to hold, and you can look longs in this area for sure. If you hold this level, there's nothing more we can expect than upside. But if we start to reject what we have just done here, then we can also never go towards all-time highs. So that was Ethereum done. Nice and short, but strongly analyzed. So Ethereum looks great for potential high time frame trade scenarios that's gonna come. So let me just write it down. Okay. There we go. If anyone in the chat has a chart request, then go ahead and ask me. I would be happy to analyze the chart you have requested. And if not, then I'm just going to continue on Bitcoin to see what we have done there. What are possibilities? Is it scary what we have done? Let's check it out. I'm gonna remove everything. Sometimes you just have to do that. Remove everything you've drawn in and start over again. Let me grab a quick drink real quick. I'll be right back. I still had a coffee there that I made. Love it. I don't know why this would be out of the chart. This is just something you do not delete. Makes this a good liquidity point. Okay, let's start taking a look at Bitcoin. I am gonna go over the higher time frame of Bitcoin here. I do not want to go too in depth about the local situation. I just want to sketch in the high time frame scenarios for Bitcoin here and make it a real quick update on what I think is going on and what's gonna happen next in Bitcoin. So we need to start at the weekly time frame. And we actually have a little price action here, which I've drawn in green, which means a demand for me. And why is it still in my chart? Well, you had this crazy accumulation, as everyone knows, it took so long. But this is actually your last, you can see it on the daily time frame better. This is your last pullback before you've created new highs after the accumulation of almost 250 days. So the buyers that stepped in here at this zone, when price comes back there, are they willing to defend their orders? Well, I thought so. I thought it would be a great point of interest to tap back into and then rotate up. But we front ran it. We're making a market maker model right before it, and we just continued the trend. But the point of interest is still here. When we could see a rotation all the way back down to like 70K, this is your point of interest to watch for longs. Also, if we take a look on the weekly time frame, it is actually a little bit scary on what has been going on there, because when we're uptrending, we want to draw in your range from high all the way to low, which we have done right now. And we have the DL tool on the 1.3. That would basically your maximum part for the market to go and still reject from, to see it as manipulation. So basically a PO3. This is our range. It was confirmed when we got back to the middle. And it's looking like we're rejecting this 1.3 so nicely, which I don't like. It's scary, especially with a liquidity hunt up here. So it looks like we need a big correction on Bitcoin. I think this weekly candle is what manipulated above this high. And this is also where sellers stepped in. So I want to call this my supply right now. Of course, we can fine tune it on the lower entry, but we can already see price made new highs by testing our old high here. But it failed to do so. It just wicked it. It made a liquidity hunt. So we've made a new lower low. Our expectancy right now is to make a lower high and a lower low just to continue. Even though our trend from here is a higher high and we can expect a higher low for another higher high, These signals that the market is giving me by rejecting the 1.3 DL2 in this range formation, it looks bearish. With this liquidity hunt up here as well, I want to say Bitcoin is down until proven otherwise. Yes, we can expect order flow to make a higher low for a higher high, but if you're internally never gonna get that break of structure towards the upside, we are going to keep on dumping. And that is the situation on Bitcoin right now. If we reject here, make new lows, our internal order flow is going to be expected every time. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and continue. That doesn't mean we cannot look for longs at these local point of interest, but because of these high time frame directions it's giving me, you want to be careful on longs above here on Bitcoin. When you want to look for longs, I think it's going to be this part down here. You always say in the 50% of the range. Well, the 50% of the range is down here, not on the premium side up here. So I think I'm patiently going to wait for price to come in here to then skew in longs. And right here, only scalp longs if the market decides to give us a scalp. But it looks like it's down until proven otherwise on Bitcoin, and we want to create a bit of that panic. Looking at the daily, we can also see what we've rejected. Most of the time when you just grind down a little bit like this with a lot of liquidity laying above, you get that pop up and then your continuation towards the downside. This made us new highs. We've made a lower low, so order flow is expected to make a lower high for new lower lows until it's proven otherwise. So when we get this internal break, we can even expect more downside. Our rotation towards this low is basically confirmed when we do that. We also have equal loads, which I've mentioned in previous streams. I think this is a great magnet for the market to come back to and maybe give us a reaction here. Our trend is down, and when we make that new lower low, our goal is confirmed, and then we can try again to break that high. If we fail to do so, we're making a lower high and we can expect new lows. What are your points to watch? There's a little order block right here that we can expect some support on Bitcoin around 105k, and then we could also expect between 98 and 102k to expect some definitely support. And if not there, there's also a demand open here. We could do something like this. So we don't have to hold this. We could sweep this low and continue up from there. If we zoom out a little bit more, I am going to be watching at this whole box. This is your market maker model that brought you all the way up to new highs. So if we come back there, we are going to expect some support, and maybe we can trade our base off that depending on what the local situation gives us. Well, beautiful. That's going to be Bitcoin here. Nice and short, but powerful as well. Quick analysis about it. So that is great. Let me note that down that I've done Bitcoin. And then the only thing I want to do is go with the charts I have sent in the Discord yesterday. I've sent some possible trade opportunities, long. So we're gonna see what happened with those, if we had any triggers to take longs. There we go. Deleted that one. Let me check how much time I have. Let's actually maybe do a stock as well. We have done Bitcoin, we have done Ethereum. So I think I want to go over a stock before New York opens. Check what's going on here. Sui does look okay. This is the range I have drawn in for Sui with our first possible market maker signal at the bottom. And we've just taken out a little bit of extreme liquidity. So this is definitely a point that we could see reversals from if price action give us the confirmation to. Because yes, you can draw in a zone, but we want to wait for those confirmations. We're just drawing in boxes. The market makers don't see their boxes, they only see their own orders. Bro, you should change your name from Trader Cage to Analyst Cage. Dita13. I understand what you are saying, and that's because I'm analyzing the high time frame right now to spot opportunities, drawing my high time frame pivot points, possible pivot points, to then eventually trade from. I'm a patient trader. I don't take trades all day, but maybe 2 streams ago we had a live trade in the stream itself, and that's because locally it looked interesting. If I look at this now, this local picture on Bitcoin, for example, it doesn't look interesting for me to take a trade. So I'm not going to trade it. I'm going to analyze. I'm going to spot my points where I would be trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. And this is also what I have. What I'm also showing in the Discord, I'm showing charts with possible trade scenarios. And those trade scenarios are actually going to be played by me if the market decides to give us so. And this is also shared in the Discord that we have. So I understand the point you're making, Dieter, but I sometimes watch your stream and you're always analyzing and making it so complicated. I bet you're more of an analyst or a trader. That's because I like explaining things the way it goes through in my head. When I make an analysis, I'm going straight off the top, going at it. I'm not looking at before the stream like what happened here, okay? No. So literally every thought that is going through my head, I'm actually telling to the worldwide as well. But isn't trading about execution? It 100% is. And when I am taking a trade, I'm sharing it in the Discord, and I'm also try and make a video about every trade I take. I don't do that always because making a video about it does take a little bit more time than just executing the trade, of course. But execution is 100% important. If you just analyze it, analyze the scenarios, yeah, I'm ready to take a loan there if price gives you so. You pretty much don't have anything with that information. It's nice that you can spot a high time frame possible pivot point, but that doesn't mean you can actually trade it and make it into a positive trade and shoot the way you need to shoot, right? So I absolutely get where you're getting from, Dieter, but like I said, I'm a patient trader. I like to wait for my confirmations and I like to wait for my setup. And that setup just doesn't come that often. This is one I actually missed yesterday a little bit. I think I've shared this in the Discord. Show you. When you just go off the chart for little seconds, then you can already miss a few things. But let me show you. Your local playbook on Sui. That's what I've shared. 3 possible scenarios to take longs from. Also shorts. This is exactly how range trading works for me. Then We never got a confirmation in our first zone. Price action just kept trending down. But in our second point of interest, something interesting happened. And I'll tell you why I could possibly take a trade here. While you're just trending down, making lower highs and lower lows, we can actually look internally. We have made this staircase. And basically, my triggers align when we touch your point of interest. This is not a valid pullback. This is what brought you down to new lows, not this. So this is relevant to gain if we want to look for upside. That's what we didn't do. We continued down. Then what actually happened is we had resistance here. This made us new lows. We've made a lower high and we've made new lows. We actually made equals here, signaling we need liquidity from the lows. That's what we did one more time. I'm not sure how the volume looks. And there's your confirmation pretty much. Volume spike, big volume spike into the market, pushing price up. And you're also have a change of character here. You're breaking structure towards the upside, a momentum switch. So now your trend is from down, it is up. You've made a higher high. Now you can expect the higher low for another higher high. I was a bit sketchy here at the time, so I waited and waited, but the local trend switch also happened. I wanted to be part of it, but I failed doing so because I was away from my computer. So executions is actually it's not a problem for me. If I see a potential play, then I am just gonna shoot it, rinse and repeat it. I've done it the last few months, so I get where you're coming from in the stream, but my setup doesn't just happen that often that we can see live trades happening. I hope you understand that, Dieter. But I am trying to work on the fact that's the point. Maybe you wait for too much confirmation. But my setup happened a few times a week if I'm really sharp at the market. And my data says if I shoot those setups a few times a week, I will be profitable. I will have a win rate with around 60%, and I'll make pretty much minimum a 1 to 2 risk to reward. That's what my data is telling me with the strategy I'm using right now, and also with the frequency that I'm shooting my trades. So why would I try and shoot more and change up my strategy while it is profitable right now? That makes no sense. So that's my thing about trading. And it would be fun if I just start like a $500 account, try and build it up while really scalping, playing a lot of trades, etc., etc. That would be fun though. Like a scalping series. Your approach is just so weird. If I check out on other big traders, but if it works, it works. I'm looking at per price action, my friend. I'm looking at buyers, I'm looking at sellers. Like we traded below this low, so a lot of sellers come into the market. What makes it interesting for them to take out this high right here? They've done so, left their crucial liquidity behind, and we've started trading down. This brought you to new highs. When you flip it, it becomes resistance. So you would actually have a trade opportunity here, but if it works, it works exactly. And maybe you're absolutely right. I do explain a lot in depth, and I think I should shorten that a bit more and make it more concrete without actually telling my whole thought process. You make a whole story of it. Yeah, I love it, Dieter. I love analyzing that way. But you're absolutely right. For the people that are watching and the videos I make, I try to be more short of. I like to point things the way they are, or at least I'm working on to doing so. because right now I'm literally spitting everything that is going on through my head, right? So I agree with you, Dieter. That's something for me to work on while analyzing it for people. But so you know, that's the story that's going on through my head uh, while going through. Let me guess, you sell a course too. I do not sell a crypto course. What I have is a free Discord community, and you're absolutely free to join. We also have a basic education course in it, explaining the four concepts of my trading principle, which is market structure, liquidity, range trading, and supply and demand. That's absolutely free. And on the side, we do have a VIP group. We have worked on that for a while now, and that is just to selective grab a group of traders to basically trade with us. Because right now I am just trading with myself and the chartsmith, who is also owner in the group. But we want to make like a close community, and that way can join our team and trade with us on that way. But I don't sell like courses in the way you mean, like everyone else. Definitely not. I am not interested in selling a course as well. I would be interested in selling one-on-ones with people because I already have some experience with that, and I like helping people, explaining the market to them, right? So that would be something I'm down to, but that's something for in the future. First, we need to build a trustworthy community that we can count on. I'm quickly gonna go over a few stocks. Damn, rip those trader through. I think it can be way simpler. Well, on the basic course, everything is simplified into the basics. I just like spitting my knowledge and expertise on the market, but that's not something someone can just learn straight out of nothing. But that's also not what I would learn other new traders, because that is way too hard to do from the start up. That's because I just like. Um, I think trading is a big passion of mine, and to know everything about it and know why something is happening is important to me, but it doesn't have to be important to someone else. Yes, but you make it too fancy. I wouldn't say it's fancy, it's just the way the market works, but some things uh, don't have to be explained that way, if I can say it like that. I absolutely get where you're coming from, Dieter, and that's a problem I've been walking against as well. That's just going too much in depth because other live streams as well. I'm literally live streaming for 40, 50 minutes, and I've only done 3 to 4 charts because I go so in depth in them. And those in depth are really for the advanced traders, and not everyone can understand that. Only a small percentage of the people that trade do. So that's something for me to change. Thank you for your feedback on that, Dieter. How long have you been trading, Dieter? Have you been trading crypto the only way, or have you traded NASDAQ as well? How long have you been trading? Good luck with your journey, anyways. Rinse and repeat, brother. Rinse and repeat. But thank you. You too. 6 years, damn. Well, nice. Hope everything goes well to you, my brother. If you are interested in more connection with us, to see the way I trade, then you should definitely join the free Discord. It's pinned in the section right there. So if you are interested, then we would love to welcome you. Experienced traders are always welcome. Indices in crypto, yes, nice. I'd rather stay with more serious traders. I'm as serious as it gets, brother. I mean, if I check out my journal for the last uh, 3 to 4 months, I've been consistently trading. I've been shooting, I've been making profits, so that's what I would call a serious trader. There are also serious traders that are not even profitable yet, but they haven't been in the game for that long. I've been in this game for 4 to 5 years, so I would classify myself as a serious trader as well. If you don't think so, that's your opinion, but enough people do think so, and they are learning a lot from the way I trade. For the 5 years, but only have 4 to 5 months of journal data. Yes, that's actually because I lost my journal. My email wasn't linked to the Excel sheet I had, unfortunately, and that way I lost a lot of my journaling on when I started out as well. So that's why I'm telling you the last 4 to 5 months of journaling that data, because that's when I had to literally start over, unfortunately. But I do have a second journey that wasn't lost journal, and that's me trading for someone else, and that's been going well for the last 2 years as well. So the data is there, brother. If you can see the charts and you can see the afterwards results, you can see clearly this guy's making money, right? But okay, I understand you have your suspicions in that way. It's not easy to trust someone that is just online saying a lot of things out there. So trust has to be gained in that way. I like on NQ how we topped off with this retail pennant, building liquidity on both sides. This would signal me that this is going to be left behind for in the future, but for now it looks bearish until proven otherwise though, because we're leaving open our highs, we're testing back what we need to test, so we can see definitely see the NQ market trade downwards. I can see indeed the afterwards result, but I barely see execution. That's the point. Yeah, and that's why you are calling me more of an analyst than a trader in of itself. But also, not every execution gets pronged with. What I mean by that, not every execution gets uploaded. Not every execution gets put in the Discord, because that would be so much value. It's not a transparent portfolio thing, right? That's not what I'm doing here. Exactly, bro. So you're telling me I should literally share everything and be open with that, because would I be comfortable with that? Yeah, sure, why not? But it's more work putting it into the YouTube, right? Because if I want to make a video about it, so you only share winners, or no, definitely not, brother. Like I said, my trading win rate is pretty high, but if I take a loss, then I would love to share it as well. I think we had a loss the other day on Link. Where was it? Let me check. CL Trader, welcome to the stream. If you've been trading for 4 to 5 years and you are with serious traders, why do you care? I've been trading for about the same time. I don't come here depend on somebody just listening. Um, I definitely agree with you, CL Trader. It's nice for you to leave a comment here. It's good to have someone active in the chat as well. And yeah, I definitely agree with you, CL Trader. That's the point. Why come in here and mob me while I just do my thing right, and enough people think otherwise on Dieter. But Dieter, once again, I really appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the feedback you're giving me. I posted that Baba write-up in the Discord. Ah, yeah. Let's take a look at Baba now, because it's just been pumping. Interesting how he presents myself. How he presents himself. Well, thank you, Dieter. I appreciate the compliment, brother. Yeah, this is just crazy, right? I mean, again, with one of those market maker bottoms. Check it out, the 3-day. Market maker bottoms while at all-time lows. Did we take that out? No, we didn't. Okay, that's okay though. Because we still had this really good market maker bottom. Yes, Cage, no hate, man. I'm just curious. Also looking to expand our community. Hard to find. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I appreciate you saying it's not hate, because from the start it kind of looked like that, but I appreciate you saying it is not hate, so I can just take it as fully feedback for me, and that's what I will do as well. Hard to find. It is really hard to find a close, good community these days that actually first up knows what they're talking about, and also don't just promote their shit online and that's it, right? Because that's not why I'm here as well. It's a bit to the side. Of course, I'm giving value out to everyone else. So, do I think I should receive a pay for that? Not directly, but in a more advanced way. Then it's just a fair value exchange, right? You get a bit of money, not even a gym membership for, like, let me just, for example, the VIP group. You just get a small payment for that, but you're putting in effort as well. You're giving value back. So it's just a fair value exchange. And it's definitely fair value because I think our VIP is still pretty cheap compared to what everyone else has it for what we're posting in there and what we have to offer. Because I'm basically a full-time trader, online every day. I don't just share everything in the public group yet. But yeah, Baba is banging CL. My call's up 600%. Yeah, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. I mean, our order flow was up, especially when we just test our previous structure. Our expected order flow is just this higher low for new higher highs. So if you get that reaction locally, that we make a low and a high, but we take out all the extreme liquidity of this up move, and then we start actually breaking structure towards the upside again, yeah, we can just expect upside here. So we've made some good profits on Baba for sure. But do you trade leverage then? CL Trader, I think you do. Do you use it prop firm wise or own capital? TP would have been hit for me. This would have been my TP. This is where you actually got a big dump. This is your last pullback before that breaking structure. And this was still trend liquidity. So my target have been hit. We could expect a little bit of resistance here from this level. And locally, yeah, it's looking like we're actually getting that resistance. From this opening gap here, and dog. We are rejecting. This brought us up. We tried to go up from there as well. If we failed to do so, our momentum shift changes. That's what we did. We've made a new low. Building trend liquidity, we can expect a lower high for new lower lows. Probably towards this structure bit. This brought you on the higher time frame up to new highs. So if we manage to hold this low on the 1 hour, we could still expect a higher low for new highs. But locally, it looks like it needs a little bit of a correction to create that more liquidity for itself to continue the move up. I've bought call options January 26 and January 27 expired $200 strike. Okay. Those are crazy options. I do think the $200 mark is a great target. Because after you reject from here, if you actually manage to gain this part here, we can expect price to continue towards the 200. But we just have to watch out because we've been trending like this. We've now completed our goal of making a higher high. So somewhere between this low and this high, we can expect that higher low for the higher high. We're still in our expansion up. So we haven't made that pullback yet. So it's up until proven otherwise. But we still have to acknowledge that we have just pumped over 40% on a stock. Taking profits is never wrong, CL trader. Never. From taking profits, you don't get poor, is what my mentor always used to say. Okay, so I don't have that long anymore because the charts width is gonna come here in a little bit, and we're just, you know, gonna hang out, chill a bit. So if there's any chart requests from anyone, then I would love to analyze them. And if not, then I'm just gonna quickly scout for some possible scalps on the lower time frame. And if it doesn't look interesting, then I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah, the market is just recovering, building up liquidity again. What can we expect after a big dump like this? Going sideways. We need to build that liquidity on both sides to pick a direction again. I would be amazed if we actually get another fast expansion down that quick. I think we need to consolidate first, create a range, and then maybe create a distribution to move down again. Alright, nothing. ETH we've done at the beginning of the stream. I am also going to upload a video about it soon. Weird IP is up. Is it just IP? The stock IP, or do you mean weird IP? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean a crypto coin? Do you mean the stock IP? USDT-P. I think you mean it this way. IP USDT. Let me know if that is alright. IP USDT, yeah. Oh my god. Hey, I've actually drawn something in here. Let's see what it is from so long ago. Did we ever get this? No, we did not. It's okay. Um, high time frame first. Okay, we're gonna analyze this one, and then I'm gonna end the stream because he can come any second now. And if he does come, I'll have to end the stream right away, quickly, and go. So I'm gonna go over this quickly. We are going to take a look on IPUSDT. This is actually a charge request from someone in the stream. So let's get into the analysis. First, I want to draw in the obvious points, like this week we made it all-time highs. You have to draw these things in because look how price reacted from it. When we gained it, we used it as support to continue making new highs. This would also mean for me, this is the level we also have to hold for an order to continue that trend. Because you're just riding the wave, riding the momentum until it's proven otherwise, right? And if it's not proving otherwise, then we can just keep on trading. I've been following this whole move up, but it's way extended for me. It's the only one with on the prop list that's green. Bro, that's crazy. It's not the cleanest PA well as well as I see, so it's hard to trade here, I think. Maybe here price could have given something, but we'll see. Let's continue the analysis. So I would say it's up until proven otherwise. Right now, we're still in the expansion of the move. You need to watch out for that. We'll get in the local picture in a bit to see how it's looking. But from this POV, it looks like it needs to make a high, come back to your support, create that higher low for another higher high. It's just expectation order flow. So that is pretty much this whole local part. I do not want to go over in this too much depth. I only want to draw in the possible support zones here, because we also have this demand block. This was our last little pullback before we actually gained this wick. This was just the support to continue. And we front ran it. That makes this a good liquidity point. So this scenario I've drawn in, I need to lower it once more as well, because this is also another scenario. And then we also have another scenario. We front ran this whole structure pool by just building liquidity above it. So you could also say you have this whole part as support as well. It's actually this whole block that is your structure pool, but I like to fine tune it to just the internal pushback before the expansion up. So I think this is what we have to draw. I don't think we have to go any lower than here. You can also see at these psychological levels like the $5 mark, it's just a great support and resistance zone. Price loves to interact with those points, and if you gain it, you can use it as support and the same way other around. If you lose it, you can use it as resistance. Just an extra confluences in the market. So up until proven otherwise, there was literally IP as well. These long scenarios is what I would be looking at on the higher time frame. This one as well. Now let's check the local time frame. 1 hour, crazy expansion. What I don't like about this straight away is the way we grind it up here by just building liquidity, and this looks a bit FOMO buying like me. This was great though. We had a range with a lot of build up liquidity, big spike up, pushing more sellers into the market, then taking all of those people out and quickly recovering from there. That's what I do like. I just don't like all of this trend liquidity that we have been building up. So this could be a possible point of interest for me below all of this liquidity. And when we take higher, we also have this that could use as support. We have this whole block that could use it as support. I'm gonna draw on this block right now itself, because this is pretty much the struggle point where buyers stepped in and pushed through this high. And below there is just all liquidity, so hold this. And if we don't go higher from there and we're gonna flip it, then we're gonna come to our next level. Same story here. If we cannot gain, we're gonna flip it and move lower. What's going on here? Actually have a liquidity hunt, and we've made new lows from here, so could be interesting to maybe look for shorts here with all of this trend liquidity built up. But then again, we have to be careful because of this massive expansion up. We don't want to trade against that momentum. See how the market reacts from this liquidity point. After the sweep of the high, this was your first lower high that brought you lower. We've hunted it. We managed to break this structure here. I am expecting price action to go lower towards all of the liquidity that we've built. If this demand doesn't get you to new highs, it's going to become resistance when you flip it. So I'm sneakily going to look locally at this, but to day trade a coin like this, look at all the spikes we've had, the irregular consolidations out of nowhere. Then again, quick spikes up and down. It looks a bit crazy to me. I would not prefer to trade it, but I have analyzed it now because there's a lot of hype going on here. So I've spit my own thoughts on IP here. That was IP as well. Everything's done, scenarios drawn in, and it looks up until proven otherwise. But be careful though. The fast the chart can come up, it's also how fast it can come down. Okay, I don't know nothing about the project. I don't know why it's pumping so much. So we'll see. All right. That was IP. Hope it was clear for you, CL Trader. Hope not boring that you left the stream. But that's my views on AIP. Now I'm also gonna end the stream here, because like I said, I don't know when the chartsmith is gonna come here. But I've created some good analysis while streaming here that I am gonna upload as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now IP USDT as well. These are gonna be the next 3 videos. Nope, yeah, man, definitely wiki later, bro. Yeah, well done on Baba. Thank you for tuning in the stream. It was really good to have you here. Would love to see you more in the stream. Would love to see more interaction in the Discord from you. Let's see if we can build our team here. Hey, CL, thank you. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.